Hello, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are, and welcome back to the Cricket Nerds podcast. I'm joined with Zach. How are you?
I'm pretty good. All good. Yeah. How are you?
Not bad, not bad. Today, we are going to jump straight into it because we saw Gujarat Titans face off against second place Lucknow Super Giants. It was a battle for first place today. And Titans won in what ended up being extremely comfortable. They absolutely hammered the Lucknow Super Giants, which we didn't expect. I didn't anyway. And yeah, let's just get into it because it was pretty poor, really, from Lucknow today. Like everything that could have gone wrong went wrong. Like it looked like Gujarat had quite a subpar total. I mean, Zach, what did you think of? Let's switch around. And what did you think first of all about sort of the bowling of Lucknow to restrict Gujarat to sort of quite a small total, as we thought?
Yeah, I thought that Gujarat were subpar today with their batting, but partly the Lucknow Super Giants bowlers were very good and very tight and didn't give much away. Mohsin Khan again being a very good find for the Lucknow Super Giants. He is bowling incredibly well, only going at 4.5 and over. He gets wickets in the power play. Batsers struggle to get him away, and I feel like he's kind of like Josh Hazlewood, not in terms of his pace and his bounce like that, but his accuracy, how he just hits a really good line of length. And I had a look, and his stats in all 2020 cricket is he goes at about 6 and over. He doesn't get hit any at all, really. And so, yeah, very good pickup for them. So he's very impressive. But then also on top of that, you've got Dasmantha Chamira, who's been bowling very quickly, very accurately as well. Avesh Khan taking wickets like he did last year. So their pace bowlers are really good and they're hard to get away. Teams are finding it hard to score off these bowlers. But there were some questionable tactics from Jason Holder, where toward the end of the innings, he had a third man, a short third man, and a deep backward point. And he was just bowling short balls outside off stump because it was like the hardest ball to hit, really. So maybe negative tactics from Jason Holder. I'm not sure what you thought about that.
I mean, it worked at the end of the day. Like it kept that run rate down, I think. Yeah, bit of negative play to hide the ball outside off, but got to do what you got to do, I suppose. Miller. Sorry?
Especially to David Miller, who loves to swing it to leg, doesn't he? So...
Well, exactly. And if you've got a player like David Miller who just slaps it around, then, yeah, I go for it. I mean, he got a little bit of tap in that last over by Raul Tuatia. So I suppose he got what he deserved in the end. But I just want to shout out Shubman Gill today, who I think played a really good innings. I think he held that side together today. We saw Matthew Wade come back in. So actually, I can't see who missed out of the Gujarat side. Oh, Lockie Ferguson was missing today. So Lockie Ferguson was rested. So Lockie Ferguson was rested today, and Matthew Wade came back in the side, batting at number 3. Looked okay, not fantastic, but really it was the Shubman Gill show, who played a very sensible knock, held his bat all the way through, and allowed players like Miller and Tuatia to come around him and start swinging. Hardik again's not had another super innings, but then you don't expect every single player to fire every single game. But Shubman Gill, yeah, I think he was just sort of the standout of that side, and made a hard track, as it turned out, look quite good.
Yeah, it was a very mature innings as well, because it's very easy when you feel, especially as an opener, when you feel like you're not scoring very quickly to almost get frustrated and try and smash it, and then you get out. But to him to assess the situation and to think, no, I've got to stay with the team and for people to bat around me, I thought that was very good. And 144, I know we've been seeing some very big scores this IPL, but 144 is still competitive. But given Lucknow Super Giants' form, and the batting that they've produced, we just thought it would have been a walkover, and it wasn't. They bowled out for 82, which wasn't good at all. And we saw them last game actually defend a not very high total, and I think Quinton de Kock was the only one who scored any runs. So when you look past Quinton de Kock, KL Rahul, and Deepak Huda as the top three, their only great batsmen left are Krunal Pandya, who has been doing well all tournament, and then Marcus Stoinis, who I think is batting way too low. Marcus Stoinis should be, I know they're using him as a finisher, but he should be batting in the top 4, in my opinion, because he's used to playing those longer innings. He can play those longer innings. He takes a while to get going. So I just don't understand their tactics here. And yeah, they were really looking for Ayush Badoni and Karan Sharma to drop down the order, because what that means is when you've got the younger players, if they get out early, then rather than having a sensible, more experienced player guiding the team to the halfway stage with only 3 wickets down, you get to the halfway stage and you're 5 wickets down, and everyone's looking at each other thinking, who's going to win this game for us? But again, Gujarat Titans bowling, very impressive.
Yeah, I think it was good. And I think they looked good. And in particular, I think Rashid Khan was the one to write about today. I think he took 4 for. He was just doing his magical, wizardy Rashid Khan stuff. And yeah, bowled really well. Like, I mean, having 2 stumpings and a run out in 1 innings, as you say, like some of the wickets that Lucknow had were quite comical. Like it was poor. But I'm not going to take anything away from the bowling of Gujarat. I think Yash Dal bowled really well for his 2 overs. I mean, he took 2 wickets. He got a bit of tap, who was really the only person to get hit off. And then, I mean, we've not mentioned Mohammad Shami, who sort of opened that innings and went for next to no runs and like just bowled that tight line, kept it really nice at the start and made the pitch misbehave a bit, I think, actually. And like it was a case of today that the top order, a couple of soft dismissals, a couple of times the pitch misbehaved, some comical, horrendous stuff through the middle order, and then the lower order were just trying to swing and score as many runs as they could. And they eventually limped to 82 off 13.5 overs. So yeah, they pretty much just gifted first place to Gujarat today, and now we've seen our first team qualify. And yeah, that's really all that we have to say about that game, unless you've got any more comments.
No, other than well done to Kishore getting 2 for 7 in his 2 overs, but I think the game was pretty much done by the time he came on to bowl. Yeah, it was pitiful stuff from Lucknow Super Giants, so they won't be very happy after they've won 4 on the bounce. But this is the time to peak, isn't it? The end of the group stage is the time to get that momentum moving forward. And although Gujarat and Lucknow Super Giants are sat pretty at the top, I do think that Rajasthan Royals and RCB are just behind and have a bit more momentum going into those last few games. But we'll see how things go. Anyway, let's move on to Cricket Nerds questions, which we love. So, before we look at Cricket Nerds questions, I do want to do the comment of the day, which is from Human, who says, here's my obligatory triple ton congratulatory comment. So that was for us getting 300 subscribers. Thank you to everyone who subscribed. Thanks. Remember, if you're not subscribed, to do so. But yeah, Cricket Nerds questions comes from Smurf Warrior, who said, which teams have the best/worst kits? So what do we think about the kits? Now, we have talked about this before. What video was it before? Was it the predictions video?
It was one of the early videos, Joe, when we were answering questions.
Yeah. So go watch our early video so you know what our answers were then. But we'll answer it now anyway. Benj, what's your favourite kit?
Oh, I mean, my favourite. What did I say? I think I quite like the Gujarat one, didn't I? I also liked RCB's, which were both way better than. Oh, what was it? Oh, then Look Now's, which is just awful. That was sort of where I was with that. I think Gujarat with the little lightning bolt looks pretty cool. And yeah, RCB have a good one. Chennai's is average this year. What about you, Zach? Before I just go through all of them.
Yeah, we like all these and we don't like all these. I feel like Mumbai and Kolkata have kind of kept things quite samey with their kit since the first season to now. Their kits have kind of remained the same, but I do like Kolkata Knight Riders. I think they've got a pretty cool kit. But I also enjoyed watching RCB playing their green kit the other day. I really enjoyed seeing them in that kit. I thought that was pretty cool. In terms of the worst kit, I'm not a fan of Rajasthan Royals kit. I don't know. I just feel like it clashes a bit. I thought it was quite all right toward the start of the tournament, but yeah, I don't like it anymore for some reason. But there we go. So yeah, thank you for that question, Smurf Warrior. Keep your questions coming. We might not be able to get to all the cricketers' questions if you leave them in the comments, depending on when we record the video, and depending on how much time we have. But yeah, keep leaving them down below, and we'll answer as many as we can. Right, tomorrow. Rajasthan Royals versus the Delhi Capitals. Delhi Capitals are one of those teams who are kind of on the outskirts, looking to get into that top four. They are currently sat in fifth, and that's based on their net run rate. And Rajasthan Royals sat in third. Who do you think is going to win, Benj?
It really could go either way, I think. For either team, if they win, there's a lot to their qualification. If Rajasthan win, it all but seals their qualification place. And that means they've only got to win one of their last two games to certify that they get through. Delhi haven't been looking good, have they, really, recently? Like, they've got something missing. Rishabh Pant's captaincy, something's going wrong there, isn't it? And Rajasthan had a bit of a dip of form, but are now coming off the back of 2 wins. But as we've seen in the IPL, literally anything can happen. Like you can have a team that loses all the games and then comes back and thrashes everyone. But in the interest of being interesting, I'm going to go with Rajasthan.
Okay, I think I'm going to go with Delhi Capitals, based on the fact that Mitchell Marsh is back in the team. Rodman Powell and David Warner have just come off the back of a really good partnership. I'm pretty sure that was the last game Delhi Capitals played. David Warner 92. And Robin Powell got 67. And also their bowling, I feel like their bowling lineup is starting to click. Anrik Nortje, he's looking a lot better than he did when he played his first game. Khalil Ahmed with the new ball, and then Kuldeep Yadav with his spin. I think some things are starting to click with Delhi. And I think that they might be starting to peak toward the end of the group stages. So watch out for them. I'm back in Delhi tomorrow.
I mean, sorry to jump in, but Delhi's last game was against Chennai when they lost.
Oh, was that the last game? I thought it was against... Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm looking at the wrong match. I was looking at when they thrashed Sunrise Hyderabad. Never mind then. Delhi aren't going to win because they just had a terrible match. No, I do think that Delhi have... are starting to click in their bowling, and I think David Warner and Robin Powell, although they didn't do great last game, they're still in a bit of form. And Mitchell Marsh in the team at number 3, I think that gives them a big boost in their batting. So yeah, still back in Delhi, even though they were bowled out for 117 in the last match.
Cool.
Right.
Well, that is that. So thank you very much for tuning in, listening, and or watching. You'll see this episode early on Spotify if you subscribe on Spotify. It will be available on other podcast streaming sites, Anchor FM, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, all of the above. Follow our social media at Cricket Nerds Pod. Leave comments, subscribe, and like, all of those good things. And you can be with a chance of becoming comment of the day, and Cricket Nerds questions will be coming up to another subscriber of the week soon, I think. So we'll have one of them for you at some point. And fantasy, we're getting towards the end of the fantasy league. It's still there. If you've been playing along but haven't joined the league yet, join. And yeah, we'll see how that goes. I forgot to update my team, which is a bit of a shame, but I hope that it does all right for this week. So there we go. That's all for today. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you tomorrow.